Welcome to another video of Nightingale in Japan. In this video, I'll be going over the 5 reasons why I'm excited to move to Japan, and 3 reasons not so much. Now, as I mentioned in my last video, I'm a bit of a chunky monkey, but I would be lying if I said that one of the main reasons that I'm looking forward to going to Japan is for the food. Now, for context, I'm not a massive fan of really fishy sort of smelling food, and I had a conversation with a friend of mine a while back. And he said to me, well, why are you moving to Japan if you're not interested in fish? Considering Japan is an island nation, there's lots of fish over there. But realistically, I'm not really that fussed on crab and shellfish and all of that sort of stuff. I don't mind salmon or tuna, that sort of thing. But then that leads on to the point of course, not all Japanese people like seafood either. And so I'm looking forward to the many different types of things to eat, such as tonkotsu ramen, Genghis Khan pot, and mochi. I mean, I could list so many things that I'm looking forward to eating over there. Stuff from the convenience store, so much stuff. Which leads me on to my next point, which is I'm really looking forward to the different locations. Now, my wife and I have been watching lots of different YouTube channels themed around Japan, and I cannot wait to go and actually see some of those areas. One of the first places I'll be going to visit will be the Heian Shrine, which is in Kyoto. Now, for those of you that have played Tekken, at least Tekken 1 back in the 1990s, I also mentioned this in my last video about Tekken being one of my first influences. The Heian Shrine is actually featured as one of the stages on the Tekken game, and so I'd love to actually go and see the actual place with my own eyes. The second location that I'm really looking forward to is actually going to the Square Enix Cafe. Now, for those of you that don't know Square Enix is the company that made the Final Fantasy games. I've been an avid Final Fantasy fan since I was a child, and so I'll be looking forward to going there and finally having a chance to try some of the Final Fantasy themed food, and also I'll get to go to see the souvenir section or omiyage section and maybe make a purchase. We'll see. I know they can be quite expensive, but we'll see how that goes. My next point is I'm looking forward to the change of temperature. Now, in Australia, the temperature is, as you can imagine, quite hot. I've been in Australia since 2007, so that's about 15 years now, and I am still not acclimatized to the heat. For context, where I'll be moving to in Hokkaido in Japan, it's going to be the reverse of seasons, quite literally. Winter in Japan is going to be Australia's summer, but it's also to the point that Hokkaido has longer winters and shorter summers, whereas where I'm at on the Sunshine Coast in Australia, it's longer summers and shorter winters. And I am really looking forward to that because I just don't handle the heat very well. And I'm really looking forward to the change of seasons as well. In Australia, you predominantly have a endless summer, is what they call it over here. And growing up in the UK, I was used to having literal seasons: spring where everything starts to bloom, summer where it's in full thrive, autumn where it starts to recede, and then winter where everything is pretty much dead. And as much as that's macabre, it still has some sort of beauty to it. I don't know what it is, but I mean, I definitely miss all the variety of colours and just the change, the transition. It's nice to have a bit of change throughout the year. So that's something I'm definitely looking forward to. The next reason why I'm looking forward to moving to Japan would be in relation to the challenge. Now, language fluency is subjective, and it really is one of those in the eye of the beholder type things where it really depends on what it is that you want to do with the language that you learn. I feel that I'm not at the level that I want to be in terms of fluency. I have a very, very basic level of understanding of Japanese, and so I am looking forward to learning a bit of Japanese every morning and then going out and applying it every day, and that is the best way, one of the best ways to actually immerse yourself and try and pick up a language. The other reason why I'm actually looking forward to the challenge, or at least the challenge of a culture shock, Now, moving from the UK to Australia back in 2007, it was a culture shock, but considering Australia is like the UK's little cousin, so to speak, and it shares some similarities with America, and considering we watch so much Western media, it wasn't really that much of a culture shock. But I have to say, I still haven't learned how to ride kangaroos yet. That is definitely one thing I haven't managed to do. But that then leads me on to my other point, which is, or at least my next reason why I want to move to Japan, and that is to meet my new family. I was married last year, and I still haven't actually met my wife's family. And so I've talked to my mother-in-law over the phone, over the internet, and I've talked to my grandmother-in-law as well. And so I'm really looking forward to finally meeting my in-laws, and also my wife's little cat that she rescued when she was younger, and she saw the cat outside of her school. She named the cat Nyan, which is onomatopoeia for meow in Japanese. And the cat is really cute, quite chubby actually, so we've got something in common there. And she always asks for food. But interestingly enough, even though she asks for food, she actually only eats dry food. She doesn't like meat or anything like that. So the poor little thing is always constipated, and well, you know what that's like. At least one of the reasons why I'm not looking forward to moving to Japan is the fact that in my life, if I ever have any problems, generally speaking, I tend to take action on those problems. And more often than not, that's as simple as just lifting up the phone, dialing, and trying to talk, or planning something, or actioning something. Now, not being fluent in Japanese, I'm not going to be able to do that as quickly as I used to be able to. It probably will end up being some sort of email correspondence, and I will have to use a AI-based translation program. The one that my mother-in-law suggested to me was DeepL, and that has actually helped me converse with my mother-in-law on some topics that are a bit too hard unless you've got a decent grasp of the Japanese language. And so that is one of the things that I'm not really looking forward to, and that's not being able to express or ask for things that I want over the phone or understand over the phone. Now, that leads me to my next point, which is I'm actually not looking forward to the fact that I'm not going to be able to get certain ingredients. Recently, I've been making a Sri Lankan curry, and it uses a specific jar with paste in it, and it is a product of Sri Lanka, interestingly, but I've tried looking for it on Japanese online stores, and I haven't been able to find it. It's one of the best pastes I've ever tried in my life, and I've only been probably eating it for probably about less than a year now. And it's been part of me trying to lose the weight, just keep it relatively healthy. And unfortunately, when I go over there, I will have to not have that anymore. I can ask my mum, obviously, to send some stuff over to me, which will be nice. And I guess that's that. And so that leads me on to my final point, and that is with regards to my mum, is my immediate family. I'm really going to miss my immediate family. When I came over, I had a less than 1 year old little brother. He's 16 now, and I just can remember the first time that I saw him when, after the day he came back from the hospital, he was in his little high chair. And it is a quick shout out to my brother, Jacob. I told you I would tell people about this, but when I first saw my little brother and he come out of the hospital and I saw him in his high chair, his face was like that. And I thought to myself, well, bloody hell, what's that? What have you brought home, parents? Like, what's going on? But realistically, I will miss my little brother. He's been a part of my Australian journey, and I will miss him. And then my mum, that is actually one of the reasons why I didn't come out earlier is my mum had a health scare last year, and so the nasty things have been ruled out, which is bloody brilliant, and so I could resume my journey to Japan. But I will miss my parents as well, because they've always had my back and that sort of thing. And then that leads me on to my fur siblings, my little siblings. And just to part ways in this video, I will actually show you 2 videos of my fur siblings so you can have a look at them. Quite a lot of swearing in some of these videos, though, to be fair. So you might want to turn your volume down on that one. But otherwise, I guess the point that I want to make is my my takeaway is my mum said to me that my mum can be a bit melodramatic sometimes, and she said to me that, oh, I'm not going to see you now, it's only going to be 5 more times until I die, or something like that, which I'm thinking, oh, come on, mum, don't say that to me. But then I actually thought about it, and my fur siblings are each about 5 years old now, and that actually got me thinking. Animals are only in our lives for such a fraction of a time, and they help us emotionally with stress, and the point there is I am not going to see them as much now, which is again really sad. But the takeaway from that is really just appreciate what you have, but also to move forward and grow, I guess, is one of the things. But you definitely know where you came from. I know this sounds really cliche, but it is true. And again, to appreciate what you have. Now, I will put these final videos. I'll put these final videos at the end of this video. And if you did enjoy this video, please hit a like or hit a subscribe, and follow me on my journey. That is the Nightingale in Japan.
My fur brother, the underwear thief. He's stolen the boxer shorts from my bag. I'm just about to leave home. Little shit. Give me them back. Give them back to me. Give them back to me. Come on, they're my underwear. What do you have to do with underwear? You don't need underwear. Come on. Come on, you cheeky boy. Give me the underwear. And they're worn as well, that's the worst part about it. Give me my underwear back. Give me my underwear back. You monkey. You little git. Go on. Give me my underwear back. Look at him. Look at him. He's just waiting. He just wants to play. You little shit. Give me my underwear back. Come on. Give me my underwear back. Ah, there, got him. Now I've got him. What a cheeky monkey. This naughty boy decided he'd run into the house this morning and scoot all over the carpet with shit stains on his ass. So then I had to mop it all up with fucking disinfectant, didn't I, little bastard? Oi! You know exactly what you did. Doesn't give a shit. Do you? Baxter? Don't give a shit, do you? You're doing it again! Stop doing it!